But, writing a cookbook is a big deal because I have to decide what recipes I'm going to use, I have to develop the recipes, I have to test them over and over and over again, and then finally you're sitting at your desk with the proofs of the book, the proofs. All the work is done. You get to see the manuscript that pretty much looks like the book is going to be, and you're just correcting typos, make sure everything makes sense. It's kind of a relaxing time. It's good. So I have a lot of markers, and a lot of highlighters, and a lot of scrap paper. And I'm reading the manuscript, and I'm correcting it, and my hand picked up a marker and drew a mermaid on a piece of scrap paper. It had a fish for a hat. It was entwined with snakes. I had some kind of visitation. I don't know what happened. Either I had a psychotic break, or the muse bit me in the bum, or maybe it was the menopause, probably the menopause. And suddenly, I was no longer a cookbook author. I was not interested in writing recipes. I was not even interested in cooking. I was obsessed with drawing. I have no idea where it came from. And ever since that day, I'm no longer a cook or a chef or a food writer. I am an artiste. And I was in the closet for a while. I didn't tell anybody because it was such a change for me. And I didn't have the wonderful tribe of weird artistic people that I have now. We'll talk about them in a minute. I just had, I hate to use this word, ordinary friends, kind of boring, nice, but boring. And I knew they wouldn't understand. My husband was very supportive. And the whole family were very supportive. It's sort of, what happened to Mother? Who replaced Mother? And my husband, who really is very supportive of everything I did, he said, honey, this is so good, it's like Picasso. And I said, sweetheart, well, thank you. I wouldn't go quite that far, but thank you very much. So ever since then, my epiphany, however it happened, whyever it happened, I have from then on been an artist, and it's developed and developed. I went to painting and making sculptures, and next lines happened. That was quite an obsession that is still happening. And it is a very satisfying way of life. Of course, writing cookbooks was very, very, I don't want to say lucrative, it didn't make me rich, but it made me a good living. And I suddenly am doing something else that I hate to sell my work. I don't sell my work. I figure I am extremely prolific, and it has more power as a collection. And I live in an art house. I live in my own private museum of my work and the work of friends that I mentor and support. So this to me is very, very powerful. I don't want it to go commercial. I don't want to become a commercial artist in any sense of the word. So I live with my art and the art of other people. It's very, very exciting. And if you go onto my Instagram page or my Facebook page, you can see pictures of all this stuff. I live with a lot of stuff. So when people come to visit me, the first thing I say when I open the door, I say, brace yourself, my dear. You have no idea what's going to happen to you in the next minute. It's extremely exciting. So I love my art so much, and the art of my friends, that when I leave the house, and I do go out quite a bit, I don't want to leave it behind. So I dress myself, I curate myself. I am a walking collage. I am a walking gallery.
Hey!
That's This is one of my drawings on the back. Nobody says my drawings make sense. I have my own private mythology. It's very, very deeply profound and meaningful to you. Anybody who wants to hear about it, I've written about it, I've talked about it all the time. And I have a lot of supporters and a lot of fans, but there are plenty of people who just don't get it. They expect women, especially women my age, to be very sedate, to be in good taste. I say good taste is very overrated. To, not call attention to themselves. And they say, she just wants people to look at her. Well, you know what? I do. I'm walking out into public, and I want people to see color. I want them to see art. Too many people wear black and beige and tan and gray, and it's depressing. We're living we actually are now living in a dystopian society. And we can do something to lift people's mental health by bringing the color, bringing the art right into their face. So I walk out under their face, under my face too. When they walk into my house, it's very much in their face and in my face. That is, I need to be an inspiration to everybody. And every year there's a new color that is the color. This year it seems to be gray. What is that all about? I sometimes think there's some foreign element that is trying to depress the whole nation, this nation and the nation of my birth, New York City. Let's make them cover themselves in gray and beige or unrelieved black. Let's destroy their mental health. This is just a fantasy, of course, but for all I know. So I am here to counterattack that. I am here to bring color into your life. Many of you here are already colorful, and I'm very, very proud of you, and I'm proud of me as well. But it's just not right. I don't understand it. So this brings me to the color walk. Most of you know about the color walk. Many of you are part of the color walk. And this happened quite by accident, and it's become a huge phenomenon. But every Thursday for the last 20 years at Old Spitalfields Market, it began before Old Spitalfields Market became so impossibly chic. I mean, there's a Chanel in there, for God's sakes. Peloton and Lululemon, what is that all about? That's not my thing. However, 20 years ago, the flea market is a real, honest-to-God flea market opened. And every day, every Thursday that I am in town, I go. And it's been a long, long time. I support it with all my heart. And every time I go anywhere, I am dressed like this. I might be wearing one bangle less on an ordinary day, but I'm pretty much like this. So I would go and we find things, me and my friends, for our work, because we use found objects, we look for cheap things, we look for things in charity shops and flea markets, we use it for our work. So friends would join me, and it became a very, what's happening up there? Hannah is part of the color walk. Yeah, we have a lot of color walk people in here. So it became a thing. People would meet me on a Thursday, and we'd dress up as we always do. We buy stuff, we drink coffee, we maybe have lunch. It's good coffee at the Old Spitalfields Market. And my friend Mayway, who is a fashion designer, very, very quirky. We've known each other for more than 20 years, and she and I are part of the fabric of the art life in the East End. She would often join me. And she did fashion walks, and they would happen all through the East End. Everybody would get dressed up, we'd parade through the streets, get on the buses, get off the buses, end up someplace where we could have coffee. Those were early color walks, actually fashion walks. Gigi of Gigi's Vintage, amazing place in Walthamstow, did something in Walthamstow, and she actually called it a color walk. And then she did one at Old Spitalfields Market. So Gigi gave us our name. And little by little, we have become quite famous. We started small. It was not anything planned, it just happened. And we became quite famous. Few people at first, more. My friend Florent Bidouin, amazing, elegant guy, very talented. He decided to make us more, how can I say it, official, and give us a little bit of logic. So he said, let's do it the third Thursday of every month. We call it a color walk. People can come. We have a Facebook page. We're on Instagram. And now sometimes we have 100 or more people, and sometimes we have almost that many photographers snapping us.